Alma. Alma is a new character released with this Final Fantasy Tactics event. Alma was one... She's not really much of a character in the game. Not really at all. But she played an important role in the game because it was one of the partial substitutes to romance. I know. Because one of the primary themes of the game was the theme of family with Ramza and his. And Alma was his closest family, other than his father. And that's because Alma... Why am I going into, like, a talk about tactics again? I get like this when it comes to tactics. So bad. So, Alma was his full brother, or full sister, where Zalbog and Daisadar were not. And they treated him as such, so Alma and Ramza grew, like, pretty close together. Which is an interesting thing. Yeah, it is because it's so good. But anyway, played a bit role in the game. But she also represented a very important aspect of it, and it really, defined the driving force of the main character in the game. And at least I'm trying to make up a hackney excuse as to why she is here, even though she was playable for a whole... She was never playable. I think she was only, at best, a guest, right? That's true, Blyven. That's true. So... Alma being a White Mage 5, Summoning 5, Black Magic 4, Bard 3 is... proper. I think... when I first started scheming up what characters should be what, when Tactics was first introduced as a realm in the game, I thought Alma could be the summoner for the game because of what Alma is. And I don't want to... Yeah. No, I guess I may have spoiled enough so far, right? And it's over a 20-year-old game, so... So Alma is very, very strongly associated with the Zodiac Stones and the summoning of those demons. So that always told me that, okay, if we're going to look for a real named character summoner in Tactics, it would probably be Alma. So I'm not surprised to see that for her here. But she's more of a white mage, as we'll find out. She does have a sufficient magic pool, though. Now this. White Magic 5 is obviously good. Summoning 5, don't really care. In much the same way I don't care about Yuna's Summoning 5. It's not all that important. I guess it was back in the day for Yuna when we had the Summoning Nightmare, and it gave her, synergy in the realm. But as far as actually using those abilities, there's no good... every summoning ability at 5-star and above is just dealing damage. And it's a pitiful amount of damage from characters like this, unfortunately. Black Magic 4, for the same reason that Vanille's Black Magic 4 is just good for those weirdo spells. No, Yuna's definitely much more of a healer. Her USB is a healing USB. Oh, that is true, that Odin has some sort of debuff. And Yuna's BSB is has a pathetic amount of damage. Unless you want to alternate her Command 1. Or spam her Command 1 to get alternating attacks on every other turn, which is just terrible. So she can't deal any damage, so why consider her a worthy summoner? Oh yeah, Tiny Bee, right. It's one of the best relics in the game. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, Will. Alma doesn't get any summon things. She's a healer with CM coverage. So the summoning is just weird. Black Magic 4 for inflicting stop. like against Omega, like Vanille can. Bard 3 gives her the capability to use Mana Pain and whatever the other one is. Song of Courage. Maybe that's Garnet's base Soul Break. Anyway, the 15% buffs to attack and magic, which whatever. Lullaby. She can do Lullaby. No, Lullaby's 4-star, isn't it? Ugh. No, Lullaby's 2. It's the halting rumba for dancers that's 4-star. That's what I was thinking about. So Alma can Lullaby. Awesome. Awesome. Alma's a white mage, guys, and don't let any of this other stuff fool you. Best RM, small magic mind up when equipping staves. Don't care. Record dive, white healing. White healing 9, summon damage 6. Why did you figure out why? What? What did you come up with? Let's hear it. Alright, Legend Spheres. Oh, yeah. Physical damage, 9%. Great. Blind resist, don't care. Oh, yeah, that must be it. Oh. Just dig the knife in further. Yeah. And next time I'll pick Peach as my partner, and we'll see what happens. Alma, 9 white, that's good, and silence, whatever. So, I mean, these are perfectly what you expect. Blind on a physical, silence on a mage, and 9% of what they need. So perfect. Masadio Machinist up 9, that's bad, and blind on a physical. Oh, Gutsy, come on. Machinist is bad because while Orlando gets physical, which affects everything that he does, Machinist only affects Machinist abilities, so Masadio's soul breaks do not get any benefit from that damage. And blind is just, whatever. Millie-dual, blind, and earth damage. Earth damage is good-ish. Better than Knight, or, ability type, at least. But say Millie-dual wants to hit a holy weakness, because, her BSB is Earth and Holy. Yeah, I understand that, Mist, but he still doesn't gain any of that damage on his soul breaks. I mean, so it does affect what he does, but it's just not as perfect. Yes, I am Strider. So we'll make that. Let's go for 2 weeks of streaming in a row. Legend materials. I'll go take a look at that on Enleers. I need a break? Tell that to my bills. No, for someone who's been streaming as consecutive days as I have been, who hadn't done it previously, I actually feel pretty good. As far as streaming goes. There's no fatigue here. Orlando, Alma, Mustadio, Millie-dual. Orlando is 10% physical. That's fine. Grants infinite haste and instant cast 3 at the beginning of battle. So haste and instant cast 3 at the beginning of battle. I don't really care that much about infinite haste. Let's find out what that means exactly. But it doesn't sound like something I should really care about. It sounds like something that sounds a whole lot cooler than it really is. But I mean, haste instant cast 3 is already a fantastic LM2, so. Alright, so it's just haste that doesn't expire. Yeah. Whatever. But anyway, fantastic LM2. Next up we have... Milliduel. 30% chance to cause minor imperil Earth to target after using a night ability on an enemy. That is good, but weird. Weird for a Milliduel. What does her USB do? I don't really care about this. This is something I really like to see in Magicite, but it's not good enough. Ah, stop. Ah, that sounds so good. Yeah, it's good about a Milliduel, but what is her USB? Oh, see you, Strider. Have a good night. Or morning. Causes Imperil Earth. Oh, damn it. Defense magic resistance minus 50%. She could have pivoted into being a powerful character outside of Magicite. Now she's just an Imperil Earth. Alright, well, I'll talk more about that later when we get to her USB on the banner. Can't stop thinking about what I want to eat tonight now. Just to stop thinking about that enchilada. The picture just made it even worse because it looks delicious. Who's next? Alma. 35% chance to dual cast white. Good. White 15. Good. Who did we miss? Mustadio. 35% chance to dual cast Machinist. That's good on him. His LMR's good too. We'll have to check out what he gets as a USB. It's not as important. So I'm not going to take a look at it now. We'll wait till we get to the banners. I want to itch my nose. Thank you. I'm tired of hitting the boom and probably blowing up everyone's ears. So there's a lot of good legend materials going on here. Milliduels is neat. We'll figure out whether or not it's good on her. Mustadio 35 dual cast, Alma 35 dual cast, and Orlando haste and instacast 3. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. So let's take a look at the banners. Alright, so here we get another one of those pure dual casters. Oh, melee duels BSB commands or support. She's one of those. I wouldn't really care, honestly. It's meant to be used with her USB anyway. So, Godly Excalibur. Uno. Small holy damage up. Do you break the 180 barrier? 179, you chump. Uh, 10 single target critical. Holy dark physical damage. What this means is that he critical strikes on every single one of his attacks, guaranteed. So he's basically given himself the critical 100% buff before casting rather than after. And X mode Sword Saint. There's no and holy, is there? No, there's not. So, Sword Saint gives him self-attack plus 50%. It's the first time we've seen this in the next mode. It does stack with everything, because it's inside the status itself. And Night Darkness ability double. It's the first time we've seen this. So we've seen an ability double before on ETA and Shantoto, but not for two different ability schools. So this makes Orlando into a tri-elemental character, which is Holy and Earth using Night abilities, and Darkness, or Dark using Darkness abilities. And, yeah. One thing that's interesting about ability double is that each cast uses two uses of the ability, so you have to have some high hones with them. But the benefit to doing that is that I believe each cast and each hone that's used allows you to proc interrupts, like dual casting, which I do believe we see on his LMR that also appears on the banner. Low chance to double cast Night or Darkness abilities. So he can quad cast. It's a very low percent. He'd have to 25% twice, but that's still pretty nice. So he's pretty obscenely powerful. He's what we got? We got Earth. You don't believe dual cast will proc on ability double? Let's read up on it. Maybe they'll say something. Double cast effect will happen as long as remaining abilities. Double casted abilities do not increase soul break gauge. Okay, so that maybe it doesn't. Because if it doesn't increase soul break gauge, then it probably doesn't count as a real ability. Okay. Burst abilities, chase follow-up attacks, and mimic cannot trigger the double cast effect. Oh, that's different. This doesn't actually state whether or not it does or not. You just kind of infer that because the second double casted ability doesn't generate soul break gauge, that it's not a real cast. It just... Okay. Well, it is a guaranteed dual cast. I think that's worth a hone. It's just not as good as it would have been otherwise. Why do I still have that open? Okay. So it's not absolutely disgusting busted, but it's still very powerful. don't let that deflate the value of this. It's extremely powerful. Him turning into a triple elemental character, being able to guarantee dual cast, with a 25% chance of adding another one on top of it, is really powerful. And the only cost for this double cast is Hones, which is fine. So that's what Orlando does with his USB. Yeah, guaranteed crits as well. Remember, he does get critical 100%. And imagine that. No, you don't even have to. He's going to be... The damage cap is going to be Orlando's biggest enemy. Not like that's much of a bad thing, because he's going to be dual casting or tri-casting. Oh, the OSB too. I forgot about the OSB, and it does occur on this banner, which is nice for those of us who do not have one yet, because this Thunder God mode makes this resistant to any sort of power creep. Let me see. So this is a really fantastic relic. Fantastic relic and a fantastic soul break, and it's just awesome and should be highly sought after. Next up, we jump down. We have Alma's USB, which is a lot of text. Not a whole lot of effectiveness as far as I'm concerned. We have at least something valuable, and this is the first Holy Staff in the game. Nirvana is a 175 base mind staff that gets plus holy damage on it. Why is that meaningful? It's for Rem and Arc, because otherwise Alma really doesn't have much of a use for it. It's for other people. Does Alma get a super here that gives her... there's no unholy or anything. So casting holy with her, which will be 4 hit by this point, is still just going to be kind of a pathetic amount of damage. Alma tries to make up for the fact that she has a bunch of not terribly useful stuff, for just having a lot of not terribly useful stuff. Haste, Protect, Shell, Heavy Regen, Status Blink, and Medium Re-Raise. Medium Re-Raise, I still, to this day, and have found no reason to think otherwise, is a pretty useless thing, so I'm going to ignore the fact that that exists. Status Blink is good. Protect and Shell, Heavy Regen can be useful, but I think the best forms of Heavy Regen in the game are when they're paired with the thing that works with them best, and that is Last Stand, like Selfie's USB and Raijin's Super Soul Break. So I think Protect and Shell are easily mimicked with abilities. So all I really consider the Soul Break to be is Haste and Status Blink. So in my eyes, this is a Super Soul Break on an excellent relic. If Re-Raise was Last Stand, it would change the complexion of this entirely. Not only would it change Re-Raise into something useful, but it would also synergize really well with Heavy Regen, and this would be an awesome USB. I would love it. But as it stands, Haste and Status Blink is... So, that's that. Like that relic, though. This versus Y'shtola USB, this is better. Not even if you discount entirely the fact that this is a holy staff. It's not Y'shtola's USB. It's not that bad. Next up, we have Marsh's Burglar Sword. We saw this already. His USB. It's just got a busted speed combo. Works really well with Orlando. This is Reddit. You can Here's a link to what I'm looking at right now if you want to follow along. We have Orlando's Saintly Excalibur, which should be known by everyone by now. It's very simple. It's an OSB, except it grants Thunder God mode for 25 seconds when it's used. Just has a high cast time with a high multiplier, and for 25 seconds you're under Thunder God mode, which reduces all your cast times to a third of what they were, which is really, really powerful. And that's why this just doesn't go away. So for the 4-star section, and notice that we have again skipped ahead into a new banner format that was started with the Final Fantasy III Onion Knight USB event. We have 4 6-stars. Just 3 very nice ones, or maybe 2 very nice ones if you already have Orlando's OSB. But I don't, so this is actually a great top end for me. Because I would even like Alma's USB because of the staff itself. Because I never know when that's going to be relevant again. Unfortunately, and this is worth noting for all you Sid Reigns users out there, he is a holy mage, and he can use stabs, but this thing tops out at 130 magic. And even though it is a 6-star native holy staff, it is not his best holy weapon. Funny enough, it is Palam's Super Soul Break, which has 120 something magic on it, but because the magic is the primary statistic, that means you can augment it and get it up to 150 something magic, which makes it the best holy weapon that Sid Reigns can use if you're using him as a holy mage. Since this is based upon mind, it can't be as good as that can be. So moving down into the BSBs, we find some redemption for Alma. That is true. If you don't have any other holy weapons, then this is good. Because 130 is still plenty magic for him. The difference between 130 magic and 155 magic for Reigns is negligible. So it's worth noting. So Alma's BSB is actually quite awesome. And though BSBs have been starting to get phased out in a lot of their usefulness because of the ability buff and everything getting much more hits and some stuff with higher multipliers, Alma's BSB is pretty fantastic. Because it is Sarah's BSB, who is already really good. Except it's a Kiraga Medica and Magic Blink instead of a Kira Medica and Magic Blink. And when we go to the commands, we see 0 cast time Kiraja and Medica command. It is just very, very good. What upcoming event is this? This is the Final Fantasy Tactics event that's I have ETA'd for January, so don't expect this anytime soon. But it is on the radar, since that will be only a week or 2 after the next festival. So Alma's BSB is pretty decent and made better by the fact that her LM2 is a 35% chance to dual cast. So I believe a good healer only needs a powerful BSB to be a potent, a powerful BSB, as well as some dual casting inside their legend, whether that be the 25% on an LMR or 35% for an LM2, for them to be a potent S tier healer. And this is it. This is all you need. Oh, that's true. I forgot about the magic resistance that Sarah gets, which is semi-relevant. Sarah is also a top tier healer alongside Alma. Yeah, I'll be honest. In single player, I don't use Wrath on Ishtola. Ishtola is my super healer. I have everything for her except her USB and LMR, which means I have everything for her. And she's really potent and she's great, but I never use Wrath because I don't find a reason to use Wrath on her. Wrath, I think, is overblown a little bit. I know that's like blasphemy. For healers, not named Rosa. Rosa needs it because her primary form of healing the party is in USB form. So she doesn't have a burst mode to lean on when she's outside of using the Soulbreak cast itself. But Y'shtola is like excellent. Her commands are fantastic. She has a zero cast time Kiraja and a great and powerful Medica command. So she doesn't need anything to get her back to casting her Soulbreak. Alma does have a double cast. Her LM2 is a 35%, just like Y'shtola's. I believe that Alma is a better healer than Y'shtola is, because I think Magic Blink is more useful. Oh, okay, Rosa. Then no, she doesn't. Right, and that's another reason why Rosa needs to lean on her Wrath. I would like Magic Blink more than I like Stone Skin. So, I mean, you can chew on that a little bit. And I think it was upon the realization that healers like Sarah and Alma existed in the game that made me regret some of my little the motes that I spent on Y'shtola. Even though she is, I mean, she's really great. And the regret is small. Because she has done the job. And she's done the job better than any other healer I had up until that point could do. So, I don't regret it that much, but still, it's more like a, damn, if I had known I was going to get Sarah's BSB, I would have thought twice. But, I'm just trying to outline the fact that, well, Realm BSB 2, I guess that makes sense, because then I would have a healer that I don't feel the need to Legend Dive at all. They do, but Stone Skin's more valuable, Ricky. Or no, Magic Blink is more valuable because it's a mechanic skipper, where Stone Skin is not. If you want to time it properly, you can just, trivialize the difficult parts of fights. And that's why I think that's that way. Where with Stone Skin, I think it doesn't perform that role as well. So Alma's BSB is very good. It definitely makes up for the fact that her USB is not. Next up, we have Ramza's BSB 2. Went over this on the previous one. And it's just as good here as it was there. Maybe a little less so, because there is Shout 3.0 will be in the game by here. Yeah, she is Beowulf. Like, that's why I'm not trying to dish on it too much. Just, I could have a better healer than Y'shtola. Yeah, that too, Call. That's a good point. Some status. Some it does, some doesn't. Ricky. Marsh's BSB also shows up here. Don't really care for it, just as much here as I didn't there. Orlando's BSB shows up here. Don't care about it just as much here as I have anywhere else. Oh, Shout 3.0 is Onion Knight's USB 2, which is grant Heiska, attack 50% and critical 50% to the entire party. Yeah. Yeah, just roll that around in your head for a second. On Onion Knight. Like, a lot of the advantage Ramza carries is the fact that he's Ramza and he has so much available to him and he can do so much. So he doesn't even have that over Onion Knight. I think the one thing that Ramza does have is the LMR. Which is super potent. So I want both of them. I number them by the order that they appeared on the banner, Blanc, and I believe yeah, Onion Knight LMR is quite good as well. Right, so it's not even that much of a downgrade. I think Onion Knight starts the battle with two charges of instant cast. I want them both, okay? I want them both. But yeah, it just highlights just another reason that Onion Knight banner is someone's weirdo idea of a joke.
Are you drunk?
Oh god, I can't wait to hear this.
Enough.
It's a dia.
ETA for Shings and Air at Chairing Forum the It is shooting time.
It's perfect English too. And OK's BUSB 1 is really great too. Well, using... Ricky, do you think I'm gonna bring both of them to the same fight? Who's gonna do that? I want them both because I want to use them in different situations. No, no one is. No one but the pubs that I get paired up with in multiplayer critique are gonna do that. Anyway, we have some issues. And here's where the banner runs into some issues. This is three relics in a row that just... well, one is okay, and March's BSB. It's fine, it's a party buff, it does something. But Orlando's BSB and Gafgarian's BSB are not good. Orlando's BSB had a point in time when it was, where using his OSB and his BSB together was really potent holy damage. Because it was a Venn diagram where his OSB does holy lightning while the BSB does holy dark. And you kind of need the cast speed modifier on his BSB for it to be any good. But it's not good at this point. And here's why. You're not going to use both. I'd bring both people with those soul breaks if they had them, but I'd use them in different capacities. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Using both is stupid. Nobody would do that. There's no reason to use Ramza's BSB2 if you're going to use Onion Knight's USB2. I want somebody to do that now for the memes, but... yeah, yes, Epic Wonder. Yep, so, I mean... No, this is the wrong banner. I don't want you open anymore. Orlando's BSB just cast Steel Soul. We don't care about it So this is my issue with the banner. I don't want any of these three things, nor do I want Alma's USB. So I've encountered 4 misses so far. This is more misses than I had encountered up until this point on the last banner. And now you're running into people getting some goggles for this. The tunnel vision is real. So what you need to do is evaluate both of these banners. And you really just look at them and divorce yourself from the hype. You need to get out of the hype train because it's not worth getting overhyped for something that has as many flaws as this does. The Onion Knight banner is a freak, and its flaws are very, very few, but both of these banners have them. So get off that train. Let's move into the Legend Materias. Orlando's is a fantastic Legend Materia. Low chance to double cast Night of Darkness abilities. Works perfectly with his USB. You know, he double casts guaranteed ability double. I'll try to get in the habit of using that terminology for Night and Darkness. Alma, low chance. This is important for Alma too. Is low chance for single target white healing abilities to additionally grant magic blank. Pretty good, pretty damn good. Realm has access to it, and it's nice. Yeah, pretty damn good's overstating it. It's just nice. We saw Ramza's Legend Materia on the last banner. We know it's really good. Marsh, we saw it. We know it's just good. So I'd say Orlando LMR and Ramza LMR prizes in this section. Alma and Marsh next. Because Orlando can't use lightning abilities? No, he can't. He's a Spellblade 5. And this banner format only has a single Super Soul Break. Oh, is it Flame Resist? Most likely, since it's a shield. Fire and Ice Resistance, but still, it's minor, so minor Elemental is... Oh yeah, that's true, Ricky. It is better than Realms, because she does have dual cast. We're looking at the Orlando USB banner. So now that, as I've done on the previous 2 assessments, now that we've gotten to the Super Soul Break, I'll take a look at the percentage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Super Soul Breaks are 1%. No, I think Marsh's LMR is good too. It's just not on the same level as a dual caster, that's all. So, Alma's Super Soul Break, which is party, minor Holy Resistance, and HP stock 3000. Better redeem itself. It doesn't. Minor Silence Resist. That's okay, because it's status resist. But otherwise, the Super Soul Break itself doesn't really speak to me. I think that's probably the main point of contention, Ricky, is Ramza's USB is what rounds out the top end of the previous banner. If you already have that, then give serious thought to just skipping that event entirely, waiting for your Ramza stuff and head here instead. If you don't have Ramza's USB like me, then that banner becomes a lot more enticing. Have a good night, Fear the X's. Yeah, but I don't know if you were here for my earlier evaluation of the Dissidia banner call. I don't really care about plus darkness swords. Like, if I get one, cool, but if I don't have one, Whatever. Martial Legend Materia is fine, but it's only a 25% damage increase. And as I went over on the previous banner, I'd prefer a 25% chance to dual cast than a damage increase, because damage increase will run into cap issues, while dual casting does not. Yeah. Good. Maybe once I get this goal for the tier lists taken care of, we can launch a mega stream, or a series of mega streams dedicated to reevaluating everything in the game against the ability buffs that are coming. I'll just go down by categories. Oh yeah, I don't really care that much about this banner, but I think it's worth taking a look at the top end at least. Oh, they're making Mustadio into yet another fire machinist, huh? Maybe Beowulf. If plans hold and I plan on pulling on the Tactics Advanced banner, no. Well, maybe it depends on what I pull. Like, it's gonna be a situation where I measure my pull on that banner versus this the first banner of this event. Like, when does pulling on this banner make more sense than it does to pull on that one? Yeah, it depends on what I get. I'll have to reevaluate then. Earth Gear, huh? Mustadio's gun. Oh, that's nice. Mustadio's gun has fire damage and, yeah. Melee dual. And this is 6-star stuff, too. I will be most likely be pulling on a Final Fantasy VIII banner that has Irvin's fire gun on it. And I believe that banner is better than this one. But this is rare. This is unique. And you saw what I did when I realized that I couldn't pull on the Bart's banner anymore, and I knew that I wasn't going to get Dorgon's BSB, which was Earth armor. And this is plus Earth light armor, too, which I think is more valuable. Still can't pull on this banner, but I hope to see this elsewhere. I think having an Imperil Earth would be really valuable too. It's not like this is a bad thing. Even with the Try debuff on it, I think this would still be very potent in Magicite dungeons. Yeah, that's exactly the point that I'm gonna probably preface that ability stream with. Elemental gear is plus 20%, yes. And it's additive with other elemental boosts. Other elemental boosts that you get from weapons and armor. And I think additive with stuff with like Unholy. I'm pretty sure Record Materia, it performs differently. Really? That sucks. That sucks that this banner has such good elemental relics on it.